Imagine trying to hire a world-class video editor, a senior cybersecurity analyst, and a lead software engineer. Beat. A year ago, building that team would cost you $500,000.
Yeah, easily.
But today, you can download all three of them for free on GitHub in under 5 minutes.
It really is wild.
It is incredibly quiet right now. But if you look closely, the ground is shifting under us.
The open source AI landscape has moved from glitchy weekend experiments to an actual digital workforce.
Enterprise-grade tools are no longer hiding behind paywalls. They are sitting free on GitHub right now. Welcome to the Deep Dive. I am so glad you are here with us.
Same here. We have a lot of ground to cover today.
Yeah, we do. Today, our mission is to explore 12 incredibly powerful open-source AI tools.
We are going to map them across 5 categories.
Right. We are looking at video creation, agent frameworks, coding skills, code intelligence, and open models.
It is kind of like building your own automated production team.
Think of it like stacking Lego blocks of data. You take these modular free pieces and you snap them together to build custom workflows.
You are assembling your own digital workforce. And you do not need to be a developer to understand why this matters.
Exactly. These tools are changing how everyday work gets done. Let's look at how we build the visual pieces of that workflow.
Yeah. Starting with AI-powered video and media creation, it used to be that generating an AI video meant getting a weird 5-second clip.
With way too many fingers.
Right. But now we are talking about actual production pipelines. Open Montage is a great example of this maturity.
It has around 15,000 stars on GitHub, right?
Yep, which shows serious traction. It doesn't just generate a clip from a text prompt. It spins up an entire workflow.
Meaning you get different production pipelines.
Exactly 12 of them, actually. Things like documentaries, explainer videos, or talking heads.
Whoa, imagine scaling that to a full automated production studio.
You just type in, I want a cinematic product trailer, and the agent handles the rest. It researches the topic, writes the script, and generates the visual assets.
It even edits them together.
Yeah, and finalizes the composition. The reference video workflow is particularly impressive. You feed it a video with a visual style you like.
So it analyzes the pacing and shot composition.
Exactly. Then it uses its 400 built-in agent skills to match that exact direction for your new content.
But what if I don't want to generate video from scratch? Let's say I've already coded a beautiful user interface demo on my website using HTML and CSS.
And you want a clean video of that demo. Hyperframes by Agent solves this specific headache perfectly.
It has almost 30,000 stars.
Yeah, it is huge. Usually if you have a web animation built with something like 3.js.
Which is just a library for rendering 3D graphics in a web browser.
Right. You usually have to manually screen record your monitor.
Which is a pain.
Yeah.
Screen recording always leaves you with messy artifacts or dropped frames.
Hyperframes automates the entire process in the background. It spins up a headless Chrome browser, runs your code-based animation, and uses FFmpeg to stitch it together.
Leaving you with a completely deterministic MP4 file.
Right. You build the animation once in code and export a perfect, glitch-free video.
So Hyperframes generates the raw video assets using code. But raw assets don't make a movie.
No, you still need an editor to cut and splice them.
Which historically requires a human staring at a timeline.
Yeah.
How does Palmier Pro change the physical act of video editing compared to traditional software?
Well, Palmier Pro is a free AI-native video editor for macOS. It has around 8,000 stars. The secret sauce is its built-in MCP server.
Let me pause to define that for a second. An MCP server is a standard way for AI models to connect to external tools.
Right. Having that active connection means an external AI agent, like Claude, can reach directly into the video editing software.
Which changes the game entirely.
Exactly. Traditional editing is highly manual. You scrub timelines, make razor cuts, sync audio layers. Palmier Pro changes your role entirely.
Elevating you from a technician to a creative director.
Yes. You type an instruction like, cut the silent parts, keep the best 30 seconds, and add captions.
The AI just reads that textual instruction.
And executes those mechanical steps for you directly inside the editing timeline.
So you're delegating the tedious cuts and focusing purely on the creative direction.
You are directing the machine. And to wrap up the media side, we have Voicebox,
which has 33,000 stars and focuses entirely on audio.
Yeah, it handles local text-to-speech and transcription.
The word local is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
It is massive for privacy and cost. You run voice cloning, dictation, and timeline-style audio editing entirely on your own machine.
You aren't paying a cloud service every time you tweak a voiceover script.
Oh,
Okay, so we have the media creation sorted.
But automating video or audio is just one isolated task. Real work is messy.
Right, it requires managing multiple steps over long periods of time.
Yeah.
We need to shift to managing the actual brains that orchestrate these complex projects.
We are talking about agent frameworks. These are systems designed for long horizon tasks that require memory, planning, and execution over days.
DeerFlow is a prime example here. It was built by ByteDance, and it has around 74,000 stars.
Most AI agents are good at short jobs. You ask a question, you get an answer. But DeerFlow stands for deep exploration and efficient research flow.
It orchestrates a team of specialized sub-agents. Let's say I want an AI to research a new market, organize the data into a dashboard, and prep a slide deck.
That takes hours.
It does. And I have to admit something here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when asking an AI to do too much at once.
Oh, absolutely. Prompt drift is a very common struggle.
It starts strong, but by step 5, it completely forgets the original goal.
DeerFlow combats this by breaking the massive goal into smaller tasks and utilizing sandboxes.
Sandboxes being safe, isolated computer spaces where AI can test code without breaking things.
Exactly. If DeerFlow needs to scrape a website, it spins up a sandbox, tests the script, grabs the data, and shuts it down safely.
It keeps the main task on track.
But even with good orchestration, things go wrong over a long workflow. A file gets moved or a tool call fails.
Which leads us to Hermes Agent. This one is an absolute giant. It has over 200,000 stars.
And its biggest selling point is self-healing. When an agent workflow breaks, say it tries to read a file with the wrong file path, a normal script just crashes.
But Hermes steps in.
Yeah, it analyzes the system error logs, figures out why the tool call failed, rewrites its own instruction, and tries again.
Wait, let me push back on that. Could Hermes Agent's self-healing lead to an AI getting stuck in an endless loop of making mistakes and trying to fix them?
That is a very real risk with autonomous systems, but Hermes avoids the infinite loop by setting strict boundary conditions.
It doesn't just blindly repeat the action.
Right, it actually analyzes the error log. If a file path is wrong, it stops, searches the directory tree to find where the file actually lives, updates its internal map, and then proceeds. It learns from the failure.
Like a GPS smartly rerouting instead of driving you into the same closed road.
Exactly. It builds resilience into the system. You can actually walk away and trust it.
But if we are trusting these agents to run long, automated workflows, we need to ensure the code they write is actually sound and secure.
A base AI model might be smart, but it's not necessarily disciplined. We have to give them specialized skills.
You can inject open source skill packs into tools you already use, like Claude Code or Cursor. Let's look at Anthropic's Cybersecurity Skills.
This essentially gives your agent a security brain, because asking an AI if your app is safe is way too vague.
It is meaningless.
Totally. This skill pack forces the agent to use real, structured frameworks. Things like MITRE ATT&CK, NIST guidelines, and the Fight Fraud framework.
The Fight Fraud framework is no joke. That was co-developed by JPMorgan Chase, Citigroup, and CrowdStrike.
By adopting these frameworks, your agent stops guessing. It systematically hunts for weak spots using the exact same protocols a senior security engineer would use to protect a bank.
That is incredibly powerful. Let's talk about the engineering side. Matt Pocock's skills repository has around 143,000 stars.
This one focuses heavily on TypeScript and React. It completely upgrades the agent's engineering habits.
The Ask Matt feature acts like a technical mentor.
Yeah, it guides the agent toward best practices, instead of just writing quick, messy patches.
The Grill with Docs feature is what stood out to me. It forces the agent to keep your ADRs updated.
Which is huge.
For the non-engineers listening, ADRs, architectural decision records, are basically the master blueprint explaining why a software team made specific technical choices.
Updating documentation is always the first thing developers neglect. This skill forces the AI to update that blueprint every time it changes the code.
The agent actually understands your domain model, not just the single file it happens to be editing. Then we have GStack by Gary Tan, sitting at 114,000 stars.
This brings a Y-Combinator style workflow to your agent. Think, plan, build, review, test, ship, reflect.
People often use AI in a very chaotic way.
They just throw prompts at it and see what sticks. GStack enforces a disciplined product lifecycle.
The office hours command is fascinating. It pressure tests your startup idea.
It questions your market, your team, your solution.
It's like having a digital board of directors that refuses to just be a yes man. But this raises a bigger question for me. Why don't coding agents inherently know these structural rules from their massive training data?
Well, base models are trained on everything on the internet. They definitely know the syntax of how to code.
But they lack the organizational discipline of a senior engineer.
Exactly. They don't naturally enforce testing protocols or update architectural records without these added skill frameworks focusing their attention.
They have the raw vocabulary, but need these skills to write a coherent novel.
That is the perfect analogy, sponsor.
Before an upgraded agent can secure your app or rate new code, it must be able to read and safely navigate your massive existing code bases.
And this is notoriously difficult for AI. Agents get incredibly slow and expensive when they try to read a large repository from scratch.
They burn through tokens, which is essentially the AI's budget for reading and generating text.
Right, because they are blindly searching folders and following endless import chains.
Codebase Memory MCP by ByteDance Data fixes this. It indexes the repository incredibly fast, and the speed is staggering.
It really is.
It can index the entire Linux kernel that has 28 million lines of code. It does it in about 3 minutes. 2 sec silence. That is just hard to process.
It is wild. And once that index is built, the agent can answer structural queries about the codebase in under 1 millisecond.
Under 1 millisecond.
Yeah, it supports 158 different programming languages and cuts token usage down by 120 times.
But how does it actually do that? Why is a simple text search not enough for an AI to understand a repository?
A text search just matches keywords. If you search for the word login, it finds every time that word is used.
But it completely misses the broader architecture.
Exactly. It doesn't know how a function in one folder impacts a service in another folder. Codebase memory creates a relational map.
So it indexes the dependencies.
Right, so the agent isn't reading irrelevant context. It even includes a built-in 3D visualization of the codebase so you can literally see those connections.
Right, it provides a 3D structural map instead of forcing it to blindly guess.
It saves massive amounts of tokens and prevents hallucinations, but once your agent can navigate the code, you need to protect it from bad instructions.
That is where Skill Specter by NVIDIA comes in. Agent skills are powerful, but they add risk.
You are giving an AI new abilities and access to your system. Skill Specter acts as a bouncer.
It scans agent skills before you install them.
It looks for 65 specific vulnerabilities across 16 categories. Things like prompt injection, where a bad actor tries to hijack the AI's instructions.
Or excessive agency. It answers a simple question. Can this skill do something unsafe once my agent starts using it?
As open source AI grows, scanning skills with tools like Spectre will just be standard hygiene.
It is a necessary boundary.
Absolutely.
We've spent a lot of time mapping complex digital code bases. Let's shift to parsing complex physical world documents.
Our final category is open models, specifically Baidu's new OpenWeight's vision language model.
It has about 3,000 stars.
It is designed for incredibly fast optical character recognition, or OCR. It reads text from images, PDFs, and scanned documents.
But the real breakthrough isn't just extracting text. It actually understands the physical layout on the page.
A standard OCR tool just gives you a giant wall of unformatted text. This model knows where a specific paragraph sits on a legal contract.
Or where a line item sits on a receipt.
Exactly. It can actually highlight the relevant passages directly on the original PDF.
And what's crucial is the size of the model. It is only 6.5 gigabytes. That means it can run entirely locally on your own hardware.
That size is the key to its utility.
Why would someone choose this small model over a giant cloud model like GPT-4 for reading a PDF?
It comes down to data privacy. If you are processing sensitive legal files, confidential patient records, or proprietary financial documents, you simply cannot send that to an external server.
You need a model that can process the document on your laptop entirely disconnected from the internet.
Exactly.
It keeps your sensitive proprietary data completely off the public cloud.
It brings enterprise-grade capability into a totally secure, air-gapped environment.
We have covered a massive amount of ground today. 12 different tools, fundamentally changing how we interact with software.
If we pull back and look at the big picture, the overarching theme here is maturity. Open source AI is no longer a collection of weekend experiments.
By chaining together video generators, self-healing agents, strict security protocols, and rapid code indexers, we have officially entered the era of free, modular, enterprise-grade AI stacks.
It is a completely new paradigm.
But my advice to you is this. Do not try to install all 12 of these tools tomorrow. You will just overwhelm yourself.
Pick just one or two that actually fit a bottleneck in your current workflow And if you are going to install new agent skills, always run Skill Specter first.
Test carefully and keep what actually saves you time. I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay, what is it?
We're looking at agents that can write code, check their own security vulnerabilities, manage long-term memory, and even build their own training videos.
Yeah, they can do a lot.
How long until we see an autonomous open-source agent actively contributing to and systematically upgrading its own GitHub repo, completely without human intervention?
Wow. That is a profound question. The pieces are definitely on the board.
It has been a fascinating journey through these tools today. Thanks for exploring the deep dive with us.
Thanks for listening. Out to row music.